Let's cut to the chase on this one. Many people saying the inspection should be paused, other people saying they should be scrapped. Where do you stand, Alex?
Both my parents are teachers. I respect the profession enormously. What's happened is tragic. It's very, very sad for the community concerned, for the family of the individual concerned. But and so I mean, you know, you'd have to have a heart of stone not to think that. But these individual outcomes don't necessarily mean that you need to discard a whole system. After all, I have to say it, we put pressure on our children with examinations because that's part of life. We put, GCSEs and A-levels are high pressure and they come with strains, and those strains have outcomes on children from time to time, and including quite profound ones. And the right answer to those strains and pressures is to provide more support and help for those who are struggling, not to suspend the examination and not to stop testing. After all, in the end, the Ofsted inspections, the Ofsted system, is to ensure a decent quality of teaching and a decent and some minimum requirements in schools. It's right that those things are assessed for children and for their parents. So I'm afraid I don't think we should suspend Ofsted, because no matter how undeniably tragic an individual example of something going wrong may be, in just the same way that we don't say get rid of GCSEs or A-levels because a young person finds the system incredibly hard.
Paul?
I've got real concerns over Ofsted and over the system of inspections. First of all, I think it only really shows a snapshot when you get inspectors turn up for a day or two. And, you know, I know schools get, I think, a day's notice, 24 hours notice that they're coming in. And Billy Connolly always used to say that whenever the Queen was going anywhere, there would always be someone painting in front
Smell
of her.
Of fresh paint, yeah.
She thought the world smelled of fresh paint. And it strikes me that Ofsted and schools, that relationship is a little bit like that as well. Where teachers just put everything in place to make sure that everything looks, you know, particularly special for the Ofsted inspectors. So it's only really a snapshot, and I don't know if it's an accurate snapshot that the inspectors get. But I do sense that it does bring with it a real kind of culture of fear, and we've seen that play out in this. It's a tragic case. This poor woman who was dedicated to the profession of teaching and dedicated to her students, felt the need to take her own life in this way. And I do think that actually when you look at the grading system of Ofsted, where you have, you know, outstanding, good, satisfactory and inadequate, it seems to me to be a very, very simplistic way of approaching an inspection in a school, because there are all sorts of dynamics going on in a school at any one time. Schools do good things, they do not so good things, and to almost define an entire school simply with one word, and to say inadequate, your school is inadequate, no matter some of the good things that may be taking place.
Isn't it
I think it's not the way necessary to do it. I believe in inspections, don't misunderstand me. I believe in the principle of inspections, but perhaps a different type of system, and one that where it's written up, there's a narrative report rather than essentially everyone concentrating on.
If I may say, you put that very reasonably, but in the end, that desire not to have a kind of grade, if you like, then why would you have first 2-1, 2-2 or third? Why would you let someone have an A-level that's an A or a B or a C or a D? In the end, these institutions are awarding people grades, and they come with a one-letter or one-word evaluation.
Because I think the difference is, Alex, if you do a 3-year degree in fine art, for example, then you're immersed in that particular subject.
Sure, but my exams don't show the true totality of me, so you should come with a narrative rather than a grade.
No, hold on. I think that if you're doing a 3-year degree in fine art, then it's reasonable to assume that actually that is going to be a fair reflection of what you're doing, because it's a single dedicated thing that you do. With schools, there's a whole raft of things going on in schools. It's not just about one issue.